I've been playing this business game for thousands and thousands of hours, so it's safe to say that I know one or two things. And among those is to how to actually get clients, so I'm gonna go up the rungs from the most basic way to the one that I've most recently discovered. So stay tuned in for that, because that way is how you actually land high-paying clients usually. But this game, just like any other, starts at level 0, which is working for free. Now, depending on your situation, if you already have the skills and the knowledge, then maybe you can just skip that part. But if you're starting on whatever you're doing from a blank slate, then there's pretty much no way around it. Now, there is one of two ways to do this. You can either do the work for yourself, as a show of competence and use yourself as a case study, or you can do the work for somebody else and just use that to get a testimonial from them, just for the sake of social proof. Because the fundamental rule of business, as I have discovered so far, is value. No one's ever gonna buy anything from you if they don't like and trust you. And the most direct way for that is for them to have actually received something of value from you before. That can be either content like this that gives them valuable information, or through free work that was rendered to them before. And the second part of that is just to be a likable, charming person that they could get along with easily and talk about work and discuss business together without much of friction. Which takes us to level 1, cold outreach. Now, this is by far not the worst way to go about things. I have certainly landed some of my best clients with cold outreach, just by choosing how to optimize it and what you choose to put in there and what you leave out. The most important part of it is personalizing the message and trying to bridge the gap that's between you and the client at the very start. Using their name, making your opening line related to their content, their interest, or the things that they like, having a clear portfolio and a testimonial to present them, preferably if it's already from someone that they know. Actionable tips that they can use to improve their business or their content or whatever service that you're delivering to them, but there is a major problem with it. Everybody is doing it too, and it's a fairly short-term strategy with oftentimes very short-term results. Because it relies on one fundamental assumption, is that you have a lot of people that you can go through and just bust out those messages one after one. Personalized, of course. And you just don't have that a lot of the time. Well, it depends on the kind of business that you're running. But for me personally, I run a video editing business with using social media as my marketing channel, and there's only a handful of people posting every day about needing an editor. So I couldn't rely on that model indefinitely, even though that's how I got a lot of my earlier clients, which made me have to go to level 2. Which was, and this might sound insane, but giving them free work. Well, the fundamental rules of business are the same, value. It just takes different forms on different levels. But the strategy here is a bit different. Say that you find a post on some social media platform where they're looking for an editor, a thumbnail designer, someone to make a logo for them, and no one's responding, or they're just sending out cold reach outs. And so an easy and relatively quick way to differentiate yourself is to just take something old of theirs, maybe some old thumbnail, some snippet of a video, some rough draft of their logo, and to remake it into a small but valuable sample that you can just give to them without any expectations of something in return, because you're trying to lower the risk for them, where they're thinking, I don't know if they can do what I need them to do. Is their abilities tailored to my needs? Will this work out? By you just giving it to them, you eliminate it just like that and say, hey, if you liked it, let's work together. But after that point, completely throw it out of your mind. Don't expect a yes. Don't even expect a response. The very goal of this is to just make something as good as possible that will blow their expectations out of the water. Because the more you give is the more you get. And goodwill oftentimes compounds way faster and way more than money, and in other ways as well. Maybe they will refer you to someone else in the future. Maybe they will come around months later, because that has happened to me, and they will start wanting to work with you. Well, at least when you're dealing with people of good character. If you're not, just throw it out and move on. Which takes us on to level 3. Level 3. Which is something that I've discovered recently, and I think this is where the real big bucks are actually. If you've been on social media for any real length of time, I'm sure you've gotten the DMs of, hey, do you want to add X to your business top line, and do you want to get 20 high quality calls in a freaking month? kind of DMs. But have you ever actually considered taking them up on that offer or even hearing them out? No, of course not. And you're completely normal for that, because no one likes feeling being sold to. But what if it's a friend or someone that you already know or are acquainted with? I'm sure that you would at least hear them out to see what they have to say. At least out of curiosity, and the same idea applies here, but instead of just going to clients as clients, you're going to see if they could be friends, if you could get along together, and if that happens, then you could start thinking of them as potential clients. You chat, you get to know them, say a few jokes, and even if they don't become clients, you could become great friends. You have to like them and see yourself as possibly being friends with them before you do business with them anyways. So why not do it at the start? And I think that's the secret, but I'll let you know how it goes in reality. So stay tuned in for that. If you need an editor, let's talk. Check out the links in the description, and bye!